We are here at B6 Bar. If you haven't caught up on social media just yet, I'm here with Alan.
Oh yeah?
He's all the rage at the moment. This thing behind me is absolutely phenomenal. We're going to have a sit down, we're going to have a chat, ask a few questions, get to know how it started, and we're going to have a walk around and show you just exactly what a magnificent, what would you call it?
Well, it depends who you're talking to. I mean, Blues fans got a name.
We are Villans.
Alan, lovely to meet you, mate.
Great to meet you too,
Honestly,
Paul.
it's
lovely.
not just this, but the whole thing. I'm in awe.
It's an obsession now, to be fair. Yeah, it is an obsession.
So if we dive straight in, how did it begin? What possessed you to build such a unreal...
Okay, well, going back to Subbuteo days as a child,
Go on.
An 8-year-old, and Subbuteo designed a grandstand.
Yeah.
And I was awe-inspired by it, and I wanted the grandstand. I had the Subbuteo, I had all the Subbuteo. I ended up with a Subbuteo grandstand all around my pitch.
Wow.
And it then gave me the idea that one day I'll build my own Villa Park. So that's where it come from. I then saw Pete's. We all know who Pete is.
Shout out to Pete. If you're watching, I'm sure you will at some point, the Holy Trinity show. This is Pete.
Yeah.
Honestly, mate, get yourself over.
Yeah, he's seen it. He has been over and seen it once, but he's not been in here yet.
No.
So I filmed one of his shows in here for him. Yeah. But so where did it go from there? I think it was just before COVID.
Yeah.
I decided then it was time to start building. So initially the stadium was going to be Subbuteo grandstands with a slight twist on it to make it look more like Villa Park.
Yeah.
But predominantly it was going to be Subbuteo grandstands with claret and blue seats. Trinity Road began and it stopped being Subbuteo grandstands. I was then actually got a job in the February before I was furloughed in a plastics factory.
Okay.
These are all offcuts.
So the
from
perfect,
factory.
It's almost all written in the stars there.
Yeah,
Things are lining
absolutely.
up. Yeah.
So all this stuff you see here is offcuts from work. I was able to bring home as much as that as I wanted.
Wow.
The missus would say tons of it, she would say. But so this is Subbuteo grandstands, but attacked with a Dremel to make them look like Villa Park. I've got a mixture of Zuego and Subbuteo grandstand there. That's Subbuteo grandstands, obviously 2 or 3 on top of one another, cut to the design of Villa Park, and then the whole tent is completely hand built.
Wow.
From the Subbuteo grandstands weren't going to do it for me on the whole tent.
Well, if I just interrupt you there, then, and for those the audience, and especially the younger generation that don't know, what's the difference? Obviously, you said that the whole end's hand built. So, what is the grandstand for those?
Well, the grandstands, it's a shame I haven't got one out to show you, but it's basically a green and tan type square box, if you like, that looked like an old 70s stadium.
Yeah.
And it got 2 tiers, but obviously not as big as this because they were designed so that you could actually play as well with the grandstand around the pitch. But and a lot of them were stands without roofs, so they were easy. The pitch was still easy accessible. Obviously, you can't play with this now. No. This is way too big for that, but it's the centerpiece of my bar.
Should we describe sort of? I touched on sort of some people may not have any idea about what Subbuteo is, and I'm sure the Subbuteo fans around the world will be like, "What do you mean?" Sort of, but I remember it briefly as a kid. It's been a long time. This will probably be the first time I've ever seen anything connected to Subbuteo, and. Remind us how you play the game, because it's quite a unique game in a sense, you know.
Well, it's changed a bit over the years, but back in the day, it started off with buttons and a cardboard figure.
Wow. As in buttons, as that's the ball in a sense.
No, the ball was well, just a piece of round plastic, if you like. But but the ball is bigger than, it's not to scale to a figure. A figure stands about that big, that tall. Yes. That's on a base, on like a dome-shaped base.
I remember. Yeah.
So that you can spin them, you can flick them to the ball, etc. So that's how you get them to move. Spin them around players and things like that. So takes a lot of skill.
A bit of skill.
Yeah, it does. And it's amazing if you go and watch. Got the guys go and play now. We've actually just had the World Cup over here.
So there's tournaments in this game. Yeah. See, I'm out of the loop. That's amazing. There's actually tournaments, and I imagine some of the things about Subbuteo are huge and worldwide. You ever entered any, or you're not?
No, I'm more of a like to play solo, if you like, or play on my own rather than. I've been to a couple of clubs and things like that, and enjoy the social side of that. Nice. But yeah, it's. For me, I prefer to watch the game actually. Yeah. So these days, anyway.
So Alan doesn't know this, but I was chatting to a couple of friends of these guys as well, and fellow Villa fans, and they run a little company that reproduce what I'm wearing. This is an old school Henson hoodie.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've told him. I was chatting to one of the lads, and I was told him I was coming along tonight, and obviously. What a fantastic cause he's doing all this for. And I feel like as fellow villains, we should all help each other out. And we spoke to each other, and they wanted to give you a little gift.
You've been speaking to Samir.
Well, I mean, what do you think?
Fantastic.
Now, there's many, for those...
Can I take it out?
Put it on if you want. We'll get you out of camera and I'll come back over here. Oh. So that's from the lads at Division Retro. Now, for those that don't know, now this is actually a favourite colour. This doesn't exist, by the way. Never existed. For those that don't know, like a modern take on what was a classic shirt. Some didn't like that shirt. Some didn't like the yellow shirt. For me, it's some like, some don't. But this. Had this existed, I'd imagine many villains would have, because I think it's a beautiful colourway.
It's lovely, isn't it? I like it.
And I thought it'll pop on yourself.
I'm going to put it on if you don't mind.
Put it over the top, why not?
Got the mic on, so I hope it's...
come through. We might muffle it a bit.
It's all right.
Look at that.
How's that look? Eh?
Look at that.
That's cool. Samir, you're a gent. Thank you very much, mate. And superb.
Yeah, we might also give him a little plug, because obviously they haven't done this to get a plug, but we've got to mention it. You can get one of these. They come. Obviously, you got the home. The away was yellow, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And they've made. I've got them all because I love them. I've got every. There was black and navy. I can't remember what colours are on the website. There's a white, another favourite of mine. This week only, actually, is Black Friday, so I believe they're doing a little bit of a discount Black Friday. So go onto the website, Division Retro, and you can get one of these. But I think it's great, giving back. You know what I mean? Because we're all here to help each other, and it's a beautiful shirt. And I thought, you know what, you for what you're doing, it's only right that people can give back to you.
I've got a Subbuteo story about the yellow one.
Yeah.
I paint. They went through a phase. Well, they still do. They do it every year now. They change the kits every year. Well, I've got these Subbuteo teams, and the kit changes. So this team that I've got, it's no longer their away kit, for instance. So I needed the Henson Villa away kit in yellow.
Have you got that? An original?
Not anymore.
No.
No.
Beautiful.
So I painted.
Not that you haven't got it. I was about that blue one.
Yeah. That's lovely. It's a lovely colour. Thank you, Samir. Yes, that's very, very grateful.
And Tony,
for that.
Samir and Tony.
Yeah, thank you, Tony, as well. Yes, so I wanted the Henson yellow kit.
Okay.
So I took one of my yellow teams, my Subbuteo teams, and painted it in the yellow.
Okay.
The team that I painted is a collection piece now. If it was mint, would be worth over £300.
Oh wow!
So, as an adult and a collector of Subbuteo, I wished I hadn't done it. But at the time, and a lot of people have said, well, it was a toy L. It was what you wanted at the time.
yeah.
So I painted a shirt, a kit which is very, very rare.
Yeah.
And I painted it. I went over it with my paintbrush to paint this Henson Villa away kit.
Wow.
So
what's really weird is because what you've got there, the irony is that you've probably upset some Subbuteo in fans of this rare piece. You've painted over it in a kit that a lot of villains don't really like, the yellow one. So it's like,
I loved it.
What have you done? And that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. Some people may not love that. I think it's a beautiful colour. It's probably that and the white one, and which were never obviously released. And then obviously they're doing this. I think there's about 3 different hoodies you can get as well. So it's very bright, aren't they? But
I like that one. That's
nice.
the Villa one.
I feel like I've seen you in this. No, you haven't got one of these.
No, I haven't got one. No.
Okay, cool. So I know you've said you prefer to watch, but let's imagine now that anyone could walk through that door.
Yeah.
Anyone connected to football. Let's first ask. Let's say it's an ex or a current Villa player that walked through that door and said, "Let's have a game." Who's your choice?
Okay. Well, strangely, Kenny Swain's been and seen this in the pub, and he used to play Subbuteo. Yeah. Him and Brian Little come, and we had a few beers over at the local village pub.
What a local!
And,
That's great.
Yeah. So, and we had the stadium over there to display for the charity, which no doubt we'll talk about later. And he was telling me about his stories when he was, obviously he's a Scouser. Yeah. So he and Dennis Mortimer, Phil Thompson from Liverpool and a few others, always after a weekend game would all get together and have a game of Subbuteo. Wow. And so Brian Little never heard of it. And so it was quite surreal actually. Here's Kenny Swain. I'm sitting next to Brian Little, and he's trying to explain to Brian Little the rules of the game. And
After a few as well.
Yeah, we'd had a few. Right. And he's flicking Subbuteo players around the table. As if he's that was quite surreal. So I'd say that I've said to him many a time I've got to play him at Subbuteo. Yeah. So I would say Kenny Swain. Yeah. And if it was
if it was a current player, and then in the current team now, I'd love to have a beer and a chat with. I think I might know. So let's say who I think.
Go on,
because I just think the whole team, he's a crack, and he's current at the moment. He's just released it. That's who probably I would have a game with. It's got to be Super John McGinn.
John McGinn. He's relevant, isn't he, at the moment? Yeah, he's absolutely relevant.
But I could just imagine he would be hilarious in here after a few shots, after a couple of points.
Yeah, he's a laugh.
Get us a beer, and I think you'd have a great time.
I think so.
Who would be your pick, though?
That's a good shout. Yeah. It's hard to say really, but my favourite player, I think, at the currently, although he's probably too tall to get in here, to be fair, but, and that's Emi Martinez. I used to be a goalkeeper.
Oh, what?
Yeah, back in the day, and he's outstanding for me. Yeah, and he would be now. He needs a trophy,
of course,
and he'd go above Nigel Spink and Jimmy Rimmer, who's my squad players because of what they've won. So
I think to have them both in here, Martinez and McGinn. What a nice.
That would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
And then some of the old boys as well. That'd be great. So touching on, Alan's built this, and it's all his sort of hard work, his own time, his own investment, his own money, and for the love of what he does. But what Alan is doing that some of you may not know is that you can actually purchase a little mini figure. Am I saying this right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you will hand paint it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be placed, unless there's somebody in that seat. And if you're a season ticket holder, I'd imagine you'd like to get it in your seat. And you can purchase, hand painted by Alan, his own time, his own money, and place it in your seat, and you'll be forever immortalised for as long as this exists, I'd imagine. I don't think it's I don't think it's a sort of a season ticket you've got to pay, although that is not a bad shout. A season, you've got to pay yearly to keep your seat. There's an idea. I never told people this. Everyone's going to shout now, they've lost their seat. My point is that the money raised from you purchasing is going to a charity. Do you want to talk about that, Alan?
Yeah, the charity is a local charity to myself. It's a charity called Do It for DEFIB.
Okay.
It's run by two husband and wife. Right. They both work for the NHS. Mm-hmm. And one Christmas several years ago, the wife had a heart attack during the middle of the night. Yeah. I think this was Christmas Eve, or it might have even been Christmas Day, I'm not sure. And obviously the husband knew how to resuscitate, etc.
Okay.
Obviously being in the medical profession, and he was able to keep her alive until the ambulance arrived, and they brought her around with a DEFIB. Defibrillator, and from that day on, then they said that they would try and make as many of these available in the community to help save lives.
That's amazing.
So you know, two incredible people, and they spend a lot of time, a lot of fundraising, because these things aren't cheap. There's installation fees, obviously as well. So so they're not cheap, and they need to be ready to be working.
Yeah, I'd imagine,
When so they put a lot of time, but they have a few people that help out and help maintain a few for them, because they're going wider and wider afield now. When I started getting involved with them, they had about 15 or 16 defibrillators in the local community. They've spread out now. They go out as far as Banbury and all the local villages. They've got about 32 out there now, I think.
Wow, that's impressive.
So you know, they're doing really, really well.
So literally saving lives, aren't they?
They are saving lives, yeah.
And anyone that obviously gets involved with Alan's project and donates, then you're helping towards that cause. Alan doesn't know this. In fact, I didn't realise that was the charity, and it touches home with me. It's how I lost my dad.
Oh right, yeah.
Young,
yeah,
slightly younger than I am now. I can really appreciate what you're doing there, and that cause that touches home. So fair play to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not going to get emotional. I won't on camera. But
there's 13,048 seats here. I'm never going to fill those with donated seats. No. So I have started to fill some of them in. The seats, by the way, basically the figure costs £7 to make a donation.
Okay, because we never spoke on that.
Anybody can feel free to donate more, obviously, if they wish, and many people have.
Yeah.
They send me loads of stories that have made me emotional.
I bet.
I've got 2 Arsenal fans in the North Stand. The North Stand upper is for neutral fans, for any supporters.
That's cool.
And 2 Arsenal fans. One is the daughter and her dad. She said her dad had a heart attack before she was old enough to go to a game.
Wow.
So she didn't really even know him that well, and but he was always at Highbury, and so she said, could you do 2 figures?
They're in the North Stand.
They're in the North Stand there. Yeah, I can't pick them out now.
No,
but,
it's getting a little bit full at the top there, isn't it? And
all those are donated seats. The majority of the lower tier as well are all donated seats. The Borussia Dortmund fans, they are my second team. I started to follow them after watching them win the European Cup against Steaua Bucharest back in I think it was the 90s. So I followed those ever since. And
they were always stay? Or would you ever remove if you started, all of a sudden had a sudden viral sensation, people were buying seats, and would they go, or would they always
possibly
stay?
Possibly.
So sorry to the Dortmund fans, but if you've got to go, you've got to go, you know.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to give away my seat, but I'm sure after this evening we can talk about, obviously, because I'm going to want myself and my 2 children. I'm around here. I'm by K5 now somewhere, just to know that I'll be up there in this little, this huge masterpiece is. Quite the thing, and hopefully when we getting this video out, that we can help generate some views, get it seen, and it'll be a bit of a little trend, and people want to get involved and get these seats filled, because it deserves it, really. No one wants to. I mean, at the moment we're probably Maccabi Tel Aviv's putting us to shame, isn't it? Because I think we're probably a little bit under capacity here. So, you know what I mean? There might have been more on that night, but I'm sure it'll get there as the months go on.
It'll fill up. I've got.
Have you got a big backlog?
I've got a backlog of about 100 figures to get in. Yeah,
a lot of time. It can't be easy to sit and just even paint one. I'd imagine it's quite.
No, well, the last one I painted was the Hercules a lion down here.
Oh wow!
And
what happened to Hercules?
He took me 5 hours to paint.
Wow!
So I'm not the greatest painter, to be honest with you, and I like to get them as good as I can, so the paint might come off sometimes, and to have to redo it because if I'm not happy. So So yeah, it's
So
it
taking
does
a lot
take
of
a bit
pride.
of time.
Taking a lot.
Yeah,
It's not just
yeah,
like a.
yeah.
It's not just a.
It's not splashing the paint on.
Yeah,
and
just
stuff,
put it on and then I'd imagine that if someone's paid as well, you want to get the hair right and any little details.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe they've even specified. I'm assuming specified that what.
Well,
colours they want to wear,
certain clothing. I've got 2 people in the north stand there. They're not football fans at all, but they like the charity and wanted to support the charity.
Yeah.
And asked me if I put them in there wearing Harry Potter shirts.
Oh, that's wicked.
I've got a group in the corner of the north stand down here. They take up the whole corner down there on the one row, and. One of the actual family, because they're all family members.
Did you say the North Stand then?
Did I say? I might have said the whole 10. Sorry.
Trinity.
Yeah. It's in the corner of the
Trinity.
Trinity Road and the whole 10. Yeah.
Correction, Alan. You don't even know where he's.
No, I don't even know where I am myself.
He's lost his. Go on.
Must be the Guineas.
Carry on.
But so the family are a mixture of football fans from Villa, West Bromwich Albion, and Wolves. Wow. They're all in there, but only the Villa ones are showing their colours. But there's one there who's not a football fan at all, but he likes his fishing. What? He's in there with a fishing rod.
He hasn't.
Yeah.
We're going to have to, we'll get a little bit of this content, we'll zoom in and show some people some of these little smaller details.
When I have visitors, and I will be opening it up for people to come and have a look. So there will be little competitions for kids with small little prizes, lollipops and things like that. And they'll have a few tasks, and one of them will be to find the dogs and things like that. Yeah.
Hey, here's an idea when it's full, or even unfull. You still might struggle. What about Where's Wally? Huh?
Where's Wally?
Where's Wally? No,
somebody mentioned that actually only a couple of weeks ago.
Stripes,
could
I
do.
thought it was unique then.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So we're talking about unique sort of characters in this. This isn't unique, but I need to know if you'd ever allow it. I don't even want to say the word. Don't want to say the team. Don't want to say who they are. I don't want to say the colours. But would you allow it? I think you know what I'm asking. Our local rivals. Don't tell me there's one in there. Would you allow in that stadium?
If they're donating for the charity and helping to save lives, yes.
I mean, I can't argue with that. To be fair.
Absolutely.
All right, let's put it. We need to.
There are a few in there.
There are blue noses in there.
Yes, there's some blue noses in there. Yeah, nice guys.
Yeah. In Villa Park.
Yeah, and they're in there. They're in the north stand.
I suppose they could go in the away stand.
I could put them in the away stand. Yeah, I could probably hide them behind one of the flags.
You can put them outside the gates if you had my way. Honestly, But fair play. I mean, I was about to also say, well, I think that should be if a Blues fan really does want to be in here, and boy, I don't know. If they did, I think there should be a limit, as in they've got to be prepared to pay £100 minimum.
£100 minimum.
Minimum.
That sounds good.
Huh?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So get your £100 in blue noses. Those are a little bit flush because we're known mostly on the dole, but there we are. So we've talked about obviously that you can purchase but where can people sort of have you got anything set up online, or is it about just contacting your person?
There is a website, but they can reach me on Facebook.
Right.
If they search for My Villa Park Build.
My Villa Park Build.
My Villa Park Build. They can make a comment on there once they've joined.
Yeah.
And then or message me directly, and then I'll tell them exactly what. Basically, it's a PayPal or bank transfer.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Tell me the details of what they want.
Yeah.
What they want the figures painted in, male or female, adult or child. Or dog, whatever it's on,
Blue nose, £100.
Yeah, blue nose is £100, £150 if you like.
That's it. Why not?
Yeah. So it's. I can do anything, if I need to find a 3D printer, a guy who can 3D print something for me, then I've got a couple of guys out there who are willing to help.
Yeah.
Most of the fans in the figures in here are Subbuteo figures.
Yeah.
Old figures that went in the grandstands, so I know how to get hold of those still. And if I do need a bit of help, I've got someone who can help paint them as well for me.
I've just had a bit of a brain there. What could we do here? Something for fun. And to get some seats filled. What if I was to say, I'm willing to give away a Villa shirt of your choice. Anyone that not only purchases a figure, but we'll say we'll give it a month. Or the end of the year, right?
End of the year, yeah.
Stick with me now.
Yeah.
We're going to give it a month. Well, it's the end of the year, so just over a month. But it's got to be something unique. It's got to be quirky. I will give away a Villa shirt to anyone that comes up with and there'll be, obviously, we want quite a few entries here to make it a bit of a real competition, but the most craziest figure, somewhat quirky, somewhat fun, and I'll judge it with Alan, maybe at the end of the year.
Yeah, sure.
And if, all right then, if there's only 5 entries, there's 5 entries, it is what it is, but if we can help generate somewhat fun as well and interactive, and I'll give away a Villa shirt. Does that sound all right?
That sounds fantastic.
So, apart from filling it, construction-wise, what's your plan?
Well, there's the roofs.
Yeah.
I've got some lighting in. Since I've moved it into this room, it's not actually connected at the moment, so it needs a bit more wiring and things.
Okay.
But the Holt end, behind the Holt end there, and you can see where the old structure was before they started to put all the corporate stuff in there. You can see, when the lights are on in the back there, you can see them coming through the windows between the 2 tiers.
Oh, nice.
There's lighting in the north stand. I've got to put lighting in the Doug Ellis, and there's lighting here in the Trinity Road. So
what about external? Yeah. Are you hoping to clad any of this?
Oh yes, yeah. This is going to look like the real thing,
and you want
in a miniature.
Badges and
yeah, absolutely. It's all going to get the Villa Park crest.
Yeah, nice.
Everything. It's all going to be here. There's lighting as well. It's going to have the Aston Villa across here, which will be lit.
Wow. Would you have some parts, so obviously you've got this on show now, you can see. Would you have some panels removable so you can still, so like if this was covered now?
Well, these would be windows anyway.
Okay.
I'm
trying to visualise now.
Smaller.
We're on Trinity now, aren't we?
Yeah. So the Trinity Road, no, this isn't how it looks inside the Trinity Road.
No.
But I wanted somewhere where you could see fans.
Yeah.
Enjoying a drink or whatever. They've been in there a long time now.
Any plans for a hot dog stand outside now?
Yes, there is. Wow. Yes, there's one. There's one there.
He's going all out. It's fantastic. Yeah.
I haven't mentioned this to you yet, but I've actually got toilets and that underneath the whole tent there.
Wow.
Yeah. So the old Perity bar. So
there is a problem though, Alan.
Yeah.
That it sounds like there is a lot to do.
Yeah.
But there's a very strong chance that by the time we get it done, I'm knocking that bugger down.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what you're going to do.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people have asked that, and I have thought about maybe building the new one as a separate entity.
Yeah.
So and then maybe switching them around.
Yeah, beautiful. So coming away from this, and because obviously the reason is this is what it is, I'd imagine, as well as his love for Subbuteo, is that we're Villa fans. First and foremost, we're all here because we're Villa fans. So tell me a bit about Alan and how did it start for you?
Well, my dad was a Blue Nose.
So was mine.
He didn't go, but he was born in Birmingham.
Same story, yeah.
Etc. etc. And a lot of his sisters, my cousin's boys, were. I think she had 7. Yeah. 6 of them they're all boys. Yeah. 6 of them were Birmingham City fans. So they took me to my first ever football match at St Andrews. It was against Coventry.
I mean, that alone, that tells me all. That's why he's a Villa fan. His first game was at the Blues. What else can you do?
The idea was to get me to be a Birmingham City fan. Yeah. And I enjoyed the game. Dennis Mortimer played for Coventry that day, by the way.
Nice.
He was a young lad then. And Birmingham City won the game easily 3-0. And of course, we're leaving the game, and they're, you're going to be a Blues fan now then. Well, it was all right, but I didn't feel anything.
You didn't connect, no.
No, there was no connection. And then my dinner lady, who was a friend of my mother's, took me to a Villa game. Wow. She's in her 80s now, and she still goes sometimes. Wow. She lives down in Portsmouth now.
Lovely.
Still goes to the odd game, bless her.
Yeah, that is a journey as well.
Wow. Yeah. So she took me to the Villa Hall game, and it's the Holt end. So you're walking up the steps, and I just saw the pitch. Yeah. And from that moment, that was it. I've got on display over there in one of my display units the programme. I've got a replica of the kit, the shirt that they wore, and that's signed by Brian Little. The scarf that I actually wore to the game,
There's some great little touches and we haven't touched on yet. There's loads of sort of, as well as it being a fantastic space, there's some great little things underneath it. We'll have a little scan and indulge if he doesn't mind. And
no, not at all.
Take you over to the cabinets. Have you got any sort of characters are in there that are famous?
No.
No, sorry.
I've got Prince William's going to go in.
Okay.
Obviously. Tom Hanks probably as well. And maybe one or two others.
And so do you have...
If there's any of them out there watching, by the way, they want to donate.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
or even better, come along.
Yes. Yeah.
And, you know, have a chat. It might happen.
You never know.
That would be so it's getting on to the second part of the question. Is there a dream, if there's, and I don't want to put you on the spot, and it's not Brian Little. We've had so much Brian Little.
No, it can't be Brian Little.
Brian Little's in the booze on the road with the pals anyway, so you know what I mean? So, but if there was one person, and it doesn't have to be football related, but if there was one icon in your life, famous, that you really think, I love that, if I could meet that person, and you had them as a random person figure in there, is there anyone?
Unai Emery is a fantastic manager.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. I'd love to meet him. I've never met him. He's going to be in there anyway. He's going to be in his standing on the touchline there inside his boxed area. Yeah. Well, I was. I mean, I have a great love. I did meet him actually, and he gave me stick and asked me why I wasn't at school.
Oh.
And that was Ron Saunders.
Yeah.
Obviously one of the greatest managers in Villa's history, and I'd just been to the hospital because I got a heart murmur with my mum, and we bumped into him in Birmingham New Street, and my mum actually went to speak to him first, and I was in awe. I was how old was I then? Must have been about 12.
And you had a heart murmur.
I had a heart murmur. Yeah.
You okay now?
Yeah, fine now.
Or something you got, something you got to live with, or
no.
Okay,
I was. I grew out of it actually.
Okay.
So, but yes. So, and he said to me, young man, he says, "What? Well, you sounded like Brian Clough then, didn't I?" He says, "What? Why aren't you at school?" So I told him the story, and he went and brought me a bag of sweets. Yeah, so he says, we was outside Woolworths on High Street. That's how long ago it was.
I remember Woolworths, you pick a mix and it's where you used to get a lot
he
more
got me a bag of sweets and he just asked me, do you stay there? He says, I'll be back in a moment.
That's amazing.
And he says, I hope you get well.
Love that.
And absolutely superb.
Quality.
And, it was, we lost him, unfortunately, as we lose everybody in the end, but... it was a big memory for me, and so he will always have a special place in my heart as a Villa fan. So for me, although Unai Emery's doing wonders, he's not won anything yet.
No.
So that might change him.
So now I'm visualising the miniature parade on the pitch. Say on the pitch, and we could have a team bus outside. We've got plenty of space in this corner to have the bus coming up. Yeah. Imagine that. A miniature
it's going to be there. The road's going under here, obviously, and I'm going to have the bus. I can't have it outside the Trinity Road because it comes up to where my lap is at the moment. So I'm going to have it coming along the Trinity Road. So have the Villa bus.
I love this. So I'm being inspired, and Alan might already have this might be part of the plan, but I'm going to... So now you've said that, let's visualise we win something.
Yeah.
We have to have a parade, open top.
Absolutely, we do, yes.
So forward planning that we are going to win something. Hopefully it's this year, into next year, sorry, the Europa League. Let's say we've won the Europa League now. I'm getting a bit... We've won the Europa League. How about you knock up something with the bus, or an open bus if that's what, I don't know what we'd use, but it's got to be on a track.
Yeah.
And it has to actually move. And it's got to come through with some players at the front. Yeah. And then when I come back, I want to be able to film that bus, open top parade, on a little mini track on a motor. How about that?
That can be done.
See?
I had thought about it on here.
Coming all the way around
there. Yeah, that's right. I had thought about it on here because obviously the Trinity Road here is going to go on for quite a time.
But we don't want to push along.
The reason why the reason why I decided not to do it was because the roads are closed.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about the bus at this stage.
No.
So I thought, well, I'm not going to do it. Now, I've still got the space and I could get this up and rebuild it.
Yeah.
So I could put a track underneath. They work on a magnet.
Okay.
And but I'd have to have a loop. It needs to go somewhere. So.
Or would another idea be an RC?
I could take it.
Maybe I don't even get that small, so it's a remote control. So it's a normal track. You could probably do by remote. Maybe.
There's a lot of model railways now that have those.
Yeah.
So yes, it could be done.
Look at this.
So
the next evolution.
I mean, we're going mad now.
Yeah, because it'll stop you getting the roof on. Okay, cool.
So
should we? I noticed you've got one. Then I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to have another cheeky.
Beer?
I'll tell you. Got one more of this.
Yeah, I've got some another Guinness in the cooler.
Come on, that's sure it's wood. Cheers, mate.
Right.
I can't drink it just yet, but cheers. Let that settle. So I'm going to have a little taste and say cheers and thank you for
cheers, mate.
Thank you for inviting me into your home.
Pleasure, absolutely. Thank you for coming.
And seeing this. I've got another little gift actually. It's only a small token, but it's something you can have. I'm going to put that down, I'm going to pop it there. Because it's kind of appropriate now. Let me just grab it.
Oh, wow.
So I've got some beer mats. And on these, there's some beer mats.
Amazing.
And he's got a picture of his obviously,
that's a view from behind the fans in the whole tent.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
And then there's obviously another shop there. And then I've got some to remember me and my visit. Cool. So we've got my sort of little logo, a couple of different variations, colours. We are Villans beer mats. Hopefully you can have these.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And people will remember my visit.
Quality,
they're quite nice, aren't they? Just something different in your bar.
That's great. Thank you very much.
No problem. So
nice one.
It's my pleasure, man.
Yeah.
And,
that's cool.
Just to know that I've got a little bit of summer in your bar, and also people get when they're seeing who's this guy.
And you'll be welcome anytime. You know that.
Oh, mate, I want to move in tonight. To be honest, I ain't got no one to go back to. I might just sleep here.
We are Villan.